Fresh reports say hundreds of Osun residents are now groaning in pains as officers from the Nigerian Air Force drafted to enforce the curfew declared in the state allegedly brutalized the people for being defiant. Reliable sources reported that hundreds of commuters and also pedestrians who were apprehended at Allege in Allege East local government area of the state on the night of October 27th were allegedly brutalized, with many sustaining severe bodily injuries. Many of the victims were also said to have been hospitalized as a result of injuries inflicted on them by military men. Senator representing Osun East, Francis Adenigba Fadaunsi, has since condemned the act by the military, saying it was wrong to treat human beings in such a manner. Well, joining us now on Newsday to discuss the developments in the state is a lawyer and also former member of the Osun State House of Assembly, Mr. Wahab Olatoye. Many thanks for joining us today on Newsday, Mr. Olatoye, to look at these very concerning reports in more detail. First of all, let's get your reaction to what we've all just seen on the screen right now. Mr. Olatoye, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What else?
Thank you, sir. I asked if we can get your reaction to what we have just seen on the screen right now and the reports of officers of the Nigerian Air Force brutalizing and dehumanizing citizens in Osun states.
Yes. What really happened was the fact that Osun people were complacent, particularly the Jesa people, that area in Allege, which is under Osun Senatorial District, under the district being represented by Senator Fadaunsi. On that said day, the Air Force officer, first and foremost, is not within their statutory responsibility to maintain peace within the company. And there was no problem. They brutalized the young people who are privately engaged, riding Okada. They are graduates. Majority are graduates. It's because of this unemployment. And they were able to establish jobs for themselves. Some of them are farmers. And they were highly brutalized, saying they are maintaining coffee or no coffee on the order of the state governor. Why not for the senator that appeal to people? It has turned to communal clash because the Air Force officers, they are in Oriade local government, more like 45 minutes drive to Ilesha Township, Okiomiru, where they came and brutalized the people. And for just no cause. These people are carrying out their legitimate duty. The essence of government is protection of life and property. Instead of protection of life, you are destroying them, saying that they should be rolling on the mud. All the communities, the environment are already charged. They want to have a reappraisal. It was a timely intervention of the Senator Fadaunsi. It will have been more than what to talk about end-SARS protest. These people are not protesting. They are carrying on their normal duty. And they are being harassed and beaten up. Elderly people.
The picture we're watching,
yes,
to say the least, is really horrible. You know, we've been talking about...
Very horrible.
Yeah, it is. It is really bad. You know, we've been talking about police reforms and the way SARS related with citizens. It's looking like these soldiers, Navy, you said, are not borrowing a leaf from the end-SARS protests.
Yes. Well, that is what I'm trying to say. Where they are supposed to be is Ijebu Jesa, Ipetu Jesa. It's 45 minutes drive to Ilesha, where they came to render folk to people. And they've not learned anything from this protest. They took on the people, they were beating them, people were in their normal residence, they were carrying on their normal duty. Were they empowered to be doing such things? It's not that they have a monopoly of violence, because why not for intervention of the senator through his own agent too? A lot will have happened. As I'm speaking with you now, a lot of people are yet to recover from damage that have been hacked on them. Some were highly brutalized. And some families are not yet, they don't even know what to do now. They've run out of that place.
Okay, Mr. Olatoye, what do you think...
No money to go to hospital, yes?
What do you think is responsible for this mixed messaging we are seeing? Because on the one hand, the government and the security authorities say they are committed to reforms, especially for the police, even though these we now hear are Air Force officers. What do you think is responsible for the mixed messaging? Because, you know, like India had highlighted, one would think that everybody should be on board. What is responsible? What are we missing here?
Well, it tells you the kind of the military and the service we have in Nigerian society. They are not well trained. What the protest against police is similar to the protest that will be against the military or the Air Force or what have you. It's because if you look at these personnel, they take laws into their hand. They don't even know how to conceptualize civil-military relations. If you are even deployed to maintain minimal crisis within a civility, there is a way you do it. But in their own case, they take law into their hands. With just having a gun, they think they can do anything anyhow. So what I'm saying is that there is a need for total reformation of all of the military, including the police. Don't limit it to police alone. Even the so-called Air Force officers we are referring to, they are there. They are already harassing the taxi drivers, motorbikes, collecting money from them, aside from beating up the other people. Is that the way they were trained? They are product of the same society. The Nigerian society will not allow such thing to continue, because what they are trying to tell us is that they are not under rule of law, and we won't comply with that.
Okay, sir. Mr. Olatoye, while we have been on air, just to let you know, the Air Force spokesman, that is Mr. Ibikunle Daramola, just called in now, Air Commodore, just called in now to say that action has been taken against these officials that we are talking about. Is this enough? Would you also like to see action now on behalf of the state government in response to this as well?
Let me tell you, from Ross, we have not seen any action. Most of those people that were being hospitalized as a result of the barbaric attitude towards Nigerian people were being taken to hospital on the bill of Fadansi. Some does not even have money. It was Senator Fadansi who now sent people to various communities, go to teaching hospital, and he paid the bill. They never made any effort to that effect, to even rescue those who are badly injured. So what is the action they are talking? They are disciplining them. It's not that we fear them. Let me tell you, the Jesa people, we don't fear anybody. We only comply with the laws.
Yeah.
And thank God that we have people like that senator who minimize and be able to control people.
Yeah.
They are talking on paper.
Honorable
Wahab. They are saying that one of the response will have been take them to hospital and then make sure you save their life.
Good. You are a lawyer.
I don't believe in what Daramola is saying. It's a cover-up. It's a cover-up.
Okay, well.
We are highly intelligent more than that. We are more intelligent more than what he's saying.
Okay, well, you're a lawyer. Do you intend taking this up?
We are going to, no, we are taking other.
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. If you can hold on.
Plan.
If you can hold on and get my question. You're a lawyer. Do you intend taking this up in court to fight for them for their fundamental human rights?
We are already taking the legal steps. We are preparing our matter, and we will definitely file it at the appropriate time.
Okay.
Okay, can you
explain our facts together?
Okay, can you explain to us, as someone who is on ground and who has information, why do we have officials of the Air Force enforcing law and order in Osun State? What has happened? Where was the police? And how come we're having this situation?
First and foremost, it is outside the statutory responsibility of Air Force to maintain law and order within the polity. Therefore, external aggression. So, and the government of the day in Osun State are denying that they are not behind it. Let me tell you, the real fact on ground was the fact that they were being used for political intimidation to suppress the interests of other people. But when politics are come and gone by election, the issue is that you are in governance. Face your duty. Protect all the citizens. You don't need to identify some. This will be the second time when they are doing such things. So it's not a matter that we are talking about politics. It's because it's political intimidation from the government in power to other perceived opponent. Perceived opponent. That they didn't vote for you in that environment does not mean that you can just interact and harass them anyhow. That is it. But when we get to the bridge, which I cross it, we're already preparing our documents, and we definitely get on the nooks and crannies that are legitimate to claim right for these people. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Olatoye. Now, let me ask you, if the government is not behind this, as they claim, have you taken steps to find out from the Nigeria Air Force who exactly sent them or called them into Osun State? And what does this culture, this constant culture of brutalization and dehumanization of Nigerian citizens tell us about where the country is today?
Let me tell you something. I'm a practical person. I'm a legal practitioner, and apart from that, as a political scientist. And I live in that environment. The state government is behind it. The invitation was at the instance of the state governor. He cannot deny that. It's like what happened at the Lekki toll gate. The military will definitely not go to there. The high command now is an influence from the top to the state. So we know. But they perceive that environment as a PDP environment. So the best is that intimidate them to submission. No! That's not the issue. So they don't have the statutory duty to be there. Where they came, where they live, is almost 45 minutes drive. Another town entirely, you pay to Ijesa. Then you come to Ilesha, Omiru side. So the geographical expression is enough to tell you that they have the backing of the state governor, who opened the Ijesa people into such bad brutality. So that is it. You can't deny it. By the time we file our suit and by the time we take other legal actions, you will definitely see, and it will further expose them. That one is there. I think the best thing is that governance will be based on the constitution, not on the party alignment. That is what the current government is doing. And even at the top, he had the backing of the presidency. People doesn't have the backing of the presidency. They should have. That thing is enough to lead to society decay.
All right.
So that is it. So it's the governor who invited the Air Force officer to come there.
Fine.
Denier is just to be undercover. It's simple.
Yeah,
nobody can deceive us on that. We have fact on ground.
Before we let you go, there is a call by the lawmaker representing you. You mentioned him earlier. The lawmaker representing the constituency, Senator Fada Unsi. He's actually calling for an investigation to be carried out and those culpable brought to book. What do you think?
Come again, sir.
Fada Unsi, the senator representing that area, he's calling that an investigation has to be carried out concerning this matter and those culpable brought to book. Asking, what do you think?
Thank you. That is one of the civil rights of individuals. We applauded that, and we are in support of that advocacy from our senator. Like I said earlier on, you cannot turn our state to a state of anarchy. He has made a proposal. Let the government respond. Let them establish open committee that will be transparent. By the time you see credible evidence, it will not be difficult for you to know at which instance were they there and who gave them that authority and the kind of hardship they were able to measure on people. It will be so clear to you by the data available, documented evidence, and real evidence. People will be convinced. So we support what our senator did. Like I said, it was at this instance that most likely have been rescued, that he took them to teaching hospital in Ife for treatment, and he paid the bail. The so-called Air Force personnel, they were there. They did not even refer to them as human beings. So we are aligned with him on that. It's one of the issues that Nigerians must take up. Let us establish an open panel that will investigate that matter.
All right. We'll leave it there for now. Honorable Wahab Olatoye, former Osun State lawmaker and a legal practitioner. Thank you so much for being on Newsday.